My answer back in those days was that I was able to get all of my creative energy out and my ideas through FireHouse. Well, that changed, and I don't know if you've heard any of the Rubicon Cross stuff.
No, actually, I've heard the whole album, all 5 tracks that you've released. So.
Well, yeah, it's not an album yet. We did a
EP,
4-song limited edition EP, and that got greeted with so many accolades and such positive press. And here's the key point: every single article, every single review didn't have anything bad to say about it. And instead of calling us hair band or melodic metal or anything like that, they were categorizing it as modern hard rock. Now that, to me, and I know that's true because that puts me in categories with what's happening today. And you can't buy that. I mean, as an artist, I've achieved what I set out to do. It's like FireHouse is FireHouse. That's what was happening then. And, that's my bread and butter, and, that's my wife, okay? This is my mistress, and it's taking me out of one genre into another. I'm leaping time, kind of like Ozzy did, from Black Sabbath, and then he reinvented himself with his solo career. I found this hot shit young guitar player who's absolutely amazing. His name is Chris Green. He's out of Chicago. Well, he's actually out of London, but he lives in Chicago now. He met an American girl, and same with the bass player. His name is Simon Farmery, and he lives in Chicago, but he's also from England. And then we put out, a video game company approached us. They liked the band so much, and they said, we're called Codemasters. We're going to do this driving game, which is really popular in Europe and the UK and everything like that. It's called Dirt Showdown. Okay, and they wanted a track for their PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 game, and we did one called Locked and Loaded. And that shows you too. It's heavier. This is my heavier side, and I'm not able to necessarily express that all the time with FireHouse, some of the writing, because I don't know if you've heard any of the FireHouse records. They kind of go a little bit between older metal and some softer stuff and everything. This is a little more punch, raw, straight ahead, and modern.
Well, just to touch base on that, because a lot of the times when we're doing our music for the show, we have a prep, and I had downloaded all the tracks off of the Rubicon Cross albums, or EP, and one of the things I like doing with my brother is playing the music and not telling who it is, and he was sitting there, he was familiar with the FireHouse material, and I went ahead and I put on Moving On and Locked and Loaded, and he was like, who the hell is this? This kicks ass. It's
totally different.
It's completely different than what FireHouse was, and I played out like 3 songs, and he was like, "Oh, are you going to tell me who this is now, or am I going to sit here with my hand up my ass going?"
He's like, "It's the singer from FireHouse, CJ Snare's a solo band," and I go, "It doesn't even sound like the same singer and the same type of music," which is what you were going for in the first place.
Well, right. I mean, if you want FireHouse,
yeah.
You want FireHouse.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do this as a creative outlet and an expression. And also, I think I have a better shot, when you were talking about releasing new material, of achieving another, getting more radio airplay. Touring a small tour when FireHouse isn't doing it with this band. Reinventing something. We hit it differently. And it's being perceived differently by the public. And in September, we're wrapping up the tracks on the entire CD, and we're going to go knocking on the major label doors. There's already been interest expressed, and it's looking really, really good. So I'm optimistic. Success is sweet if you get to taste it once. I'm fingers crossed. Hoping that I have the same feeling I did like on the first FireHouse record for this Rubicon Cross stuff.
I mean, if these first 5 tracks are any indication of what the album is going to be like, I'm going to be looking forward to hearing the new album, because I was really excited when I heard this. It was, like you said, it's modern. It's got that new sound to it, and it's got the great vocals, great guitar playing, and it's just power driven, and it's exactly what's going on right now, especially in Europe and England, and here in the States. There's that, like you said, a renaissance for that hard driving, hard rock music, and this is definitely what you got here with the Rubicon Cross. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, thanks. The guy who mixed it actually mixed Shinedown and produced them, and Five Finger Death Punch and Bullet for My Valentine, and we're on the soundtrack of that Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 game with bands like that, and Rise Against, and so that's cool.
Yeah, these are all modern bands, so it's going to give you that same type of sound that's modern, like my brother just said, which is, like we also talked about a couple of minutes ago, totally different than FireHouse.
Yeah, so just a note out there to our listeners, if you're listening to the show before it started, we did play Moving On, so that track was already played earlier in the evening, and we're definitely going to be closing out the interview in a little bit with Locked and Loaded, and of course another FireHouse track. So if you really want to hear what the new Rubicon Cross sounds like, definitely stay tuned.
Yeah, we're going to play it right after we're done with CJ, which is taking us to our last question, the Spinal Tap moment.
Oh, here we go. You're asking me what my Spinal Tap moment was.
That is correct, yeah. What is your spinal... We ask everybody that comes on that we do interviews with, that's always our last question.
It's difficult because most of the moments out on the road truly are Spinal Tap moments. That movie, it is just so brilliant because it's so close to being right. I've heard guys complain about the writer. Geez, man, we don't have, the right kind of bread here. They didn't bring us or whatever, and we've been led all over the place before. There's the scene where they're, hello, Cleveland, and everything like that, right? And they're just being led through this labyrinth of things underneath, and we've done that before, too. We've had the record company people who are all apologetic and everything. I mean, we've had maybe some girl troubles, too, just so much of that movie is a funny, however, accurate depiction of some of the things that go on. I mean, I bet you there isn't a band from that era, or any era, really, that maybe 5 things from that movie hasn't happened to. I can't pick one. I've been doing it 22 years, guys.
So you're going to say it's all happened to FireHouse and the Spinal Tap movie. Pretty much, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, there's no one real moment. I mean, you could ask me about moments on the road, but they're not necessarily Spinal Tap-ish. I mean, we got pulled over by the police one time because one of the band guys was seeing or had an underage girl, and she'd run away from home. And they thought that she was on our tour bus, and they, stopped us, pulled us over, FBI, because her father was like a governor or something. They searched the bus,
That qualifies.
Yeah, that qualifies as a Spinal Tap moment.
So congratulations, son. Spinal Tap 2, that'll be in the movie for sure.
Yeah, we're getting all the interviews done, and we're going to put a movie together, and we'll take these ideas and make it into Spinal Tap 2.
There you go. That's great. I'll have my attorney talk to your attorney. So we can get the licensing fee.
Okay.
Sure. We'll just change the name of the band.
Yeah, we'll just change the name of the band.
Fire Ladder or something like that.
There you go. Or just call it Fire. Yeah. There's a band called Fire, and there's some underage girl on that bus or whatever.
I got this, my daughter and the governor. I want the sheriff's there now. Closing down the interstate.
All right, CJ, well, thank you very much for being a guest on the Hard Rockology Show. We wish you and the band lots of luck on this brutal tour that you mentioned at the beginning of the interview. And we're going
smack dab in the middle of it. And thank you. We're surviving so far. I think the hardest part's behind us.
Yeah, it seems like you sound really good right now. So, I mean, just a little bit tired, but hey, that's expected. But you sound really good. And people are coming to the shows, like you said, and what more could you want?
To win the lottery, the Powerball, everybody wants that, right?
Well, yeah, but you don't have to work for that. So, I mean, but you've worked for this, and I think it's a little bit different. You're enjoying it a little bit more as opposed to just being handed it, right?
Absolutely. Well, no, I mean, there's been some luck and some timing, and also a lot of hard work. Because without us being as persistent, as aggressive, without us really putting our nose to the grindstone with writing and rehearsing as a band and, trying to pull it all together and everything, none of this would have materialized for us. And for 22 years now, we've done nothing but make music for, I must say, a very, very comfortable living, and that is a dream come true.
Well, we thank you as fans of the music, and we appreciate everything that you as a band and as a solo artist or with the Rubicon Cross are doing. So a personal thank you on my end, because you sound as phenomenal today, or the band sounds as phenomenal today as they did 20 years ago. So that's a compliment to you and the guys in the band, so pass that along. Like I said,
dude, I'm giving you the horns right now.
Yeah, because
all right.
because the energy's there. When I see you guys live in concert, the energy is definitely there. It's like I said, it's taken up 2 or 3 notches. And
all right. So what do we got? We got Rubicon Cross or what's the different pronunciation again?
Well, why don't you go ahead and take us out, CJ, and introduce
take
this
us
next
out.
song.
Why don't you just introduce this next song, and then, like I said, good luck with everything with FireHouse and Rubicon Cross. Ready? Take us out, CJ.
Okay, well, as Chris Green, the guitar player, would say, Rubicon Cross, and as I would say, this is locked and loaded from Rubicon Cross. Take it on home and stick it.